Hello guys, welcome back to Prague Airport with SkyTravel livery, and today it will be quite a short maybe topic, maybe it will be longer, we will see, and we'll discuss a little bit more about the IRSs and what the IRSs are. Basically, the IRSs was the main navigation. If we are going to the history, the IRSs was the main navigation sources for airliners, because in the past, in the history, the airplanes was using conventional navigation. That means that they were flying. Or routing was always from let's say radio navigation aid like VOR or NDB to another VOR or to another NDB. That was in the history. But later on, the IRSs was developed, and the first IRSs was mechanical. What does it mean was mechanical? It has mechanical gyroscopes, because the IRS is the system which works, which measures your latitude and longitude during your flight. And how the IRS measure this? You have to first, when you are on the stand, be careful when you are aligning IRSs. What is aligning IRSs? Aligning IRSs means that IRSs is, let's say, measuring the Earth rotation, and during the Earth rotation, the IRSs can find your position. Okay, but why are we putting the IRS position? In order to verify and to check the position with the IRS position which was computed by the FMC, and if this position agrees, that means that you are aligned. If it is disagree, you have a message for this, that the FMC position disagree. Okay, and so that was the mechanical IRSs. Nowadays, the airplanes are using laser gyroscopes. Okay, so it's quite a little bit less complicated, and it is a little bit less, let's say, less, I don't know how to say in English, because I didn't speak English for 7 years, but it's basically for maintenance. It's a better solution, because they have less work if something happens with these laser gyroscopes. Okay, basically this is the IRSs. Okay, and with the IRSs, they are developing so-called air-now routings. Okay, and in order to make things into the right position or put to the right, it's the huge difference between AirNow and RMP. What is AirNow? AirNow base is basically area navigation. Okay, so you are navigating via certain, for example, if you have AirNow 5, that means that your routing, or let's say your airplane should be via desired route within 5 nautical miles to the right and to the left within 90% of the flight. And as the flight is longer, the reliability with this AirNow via IRSs is it's less accurate. So that means if you are across the pond and fly over the Atlantic Ocean, your IRSs will lose the performance as he hit the first radio navigation aid and he correct himself. Okay, so basically this is area navigation. And why I am mentioning area navigation? Because we have RMP, and RMP means required navigation performance, and this is something which is basically different. Why? Because with RMP you should have required navigation performance. That means that you have to perform like now, but you should have onboard alerting services. That's why you can see here right now what is desired RMP and what is actual navigation performance. And if you are flying RMP approach, please do not mess it with AirNav approach. Okay, it's RMP approach once again. And if you are performing RMP approach, for example, you should check if your RMP approach or your, let's say, your actual navigation performance meet the required navigation performance. Sometimes it could happen that suddenly you lose one of your, for example, sources of approach, because some RMP approach depends solely on GPS. So that means that you have to disable the DME, and you have to let's see, disable for example, I don't know what, but anyway. And now you can see if you are flying and you have GPS only, that means that you have to uncheck all of this and leave it like this one. Okay, so why I'm mentioning, so this was explanation what is AirNav and what is the RMP. And now we are going to the IRSs. IRSs on Boeing 737 are here. I don't know how to zoom it in, but maybe like this one. And as you can see, you have few options here. Okay, and you have IRSs in off position. That means that IRSs is completely off, and when you are aligning IRSs, you put into the nav mode. Okay, and as soon as you enter the position, you cannot move with the airplane, because the sensors are quite sensitive, and as they computed the position, then you can move with the airplane. Okay, and then we have the align mode and attitude mode. Align mode is basically using when you need to do the quick turnaround, you hurry up, so you perform a partial alignment. That means that you put it into the align and then wait for a few seconds and then put it into the nav mode, and once IRS is aligned, then you put the position. You can also put the position of the IRSs via this panel, and as you can see, you have systems. That means left IRSs, right IRSs. You have, for example, you can make a test, okay, of the light systems. Now he will keeping the track and ground speed. This will be present position in latitude and longitude. It's essential during cross the pond in order to know what are your currently coordinated, and this is the wind and this is the heading. And status means that how much time we need to align the IRSs, because if you are on the equator, that means that the Earth is rotating much more higher than in the North Pole. That's why on the equator you can see the times, for example 3, 4, 5 minutes, and in the polar region you can see 15 minutes. Because the Earth rotation it's much more slower, and there are the certain areas in which you are not allowed to fly because the magnetic heading, you are close to the magnetic heading, and it means that your magnetic heading is no more reliable, and Boeing 737 NG doesn't have the true heading, okay? And if something happens with the IRSs, you can just press the coordinates and press the enter, or set the heading and press the enter. Okay, so this is the basic explanation of what is IRSs. We have some, let's say, I will do it like this one in order to see. We have align. That means that IRSs are in align position, and you can see on DC it's momentarily switching when you are pressing the align. You have fall detection and you have DC fail. Basically, if you have DC fail light illuminating right here and no lights are illuminating, that means that it's some electrical problem, but it doesn't affect, according to the QRH, so much your IRSs. But if any other light is illuminated, it should be wrong IRS. And now we have to, let's say, we have to realize two things, two failures, which is the main purpose of this video. The first failure should happen when you are on the ground, okay? And when you are on the ground and you have the, for example, DC fail or fall detection, you may try to realign the IRS. If the align, or let's say like this one, okay, I will not complicate it. If you have some problems with IRS alignment on the ground, you have to go back to the parking stand. You put it into the off position, then to now position. It's basically, it's a little bit more complicated with the QRH, but you put there on the nav mode, and if there was temporary failure, you are lucky and you put the coordinates over there, then just press execute and you are ready to go. But you just maybe lose 200 or 300 kilograms, and you have to reconsider refueling with passengers on board. But this is another case. But if you are not successful and there is depicted overhead the QRH, if you are if you're not successful and one of these switches are, for example, DC fail is illuminated still, we are really sorry, but you have to disembark the airplane, or let's say like PMDG, deploy of the passengers, and you have to call the maintenance and they will perform the actions, because remember one thing, and it's without one IRS or both IRS you cannot fly, because you don't have, if you have faulty IRSs, you don't have the map mode, you don't have the attitude mode, and your autopilot flight director system is no longer working. So that's the reason why you are not good to go and you cannot dispatch this failure. Okay guys, so we are coming from Prague to, for example, Amsterdam, let's say like this one, okay? And now we discussed what is the problem on the ground. So if you have fault light on the ground, that means that you have to go back to the gate, disembark the airplane, call the maintenance and resolve the problem. It will be for a long time. And if you have as well a line sign right over here, that means that maybe you enter the wrong present position. That's why we are always within pre-flight confirming the position. Okay, so it has to be confirmed by a left seat pilot and a right seat pilot. Okay, a right seat pilot will enter the position and confirm it via JPSN charts, and left seat pilot will confirm it as well, so it's double checked in order to avoid this situation. Okay, in order you have to stop on the taxiway, put IRS to off position, then to align position and wait for alignment, and it took a long time. And now we are going to fly, and in flight if you are fully aware that your fault IRS, I will prepare it. If you are fully aware that it is the really faulty IRS and you have no solution, so that means that no multiply failures are on board or something like that, that means that you just press this transfer switches IRS to the IRS which is not working. Okay, in our training purposes I am deeply apologize once again, and I will do it each stream. I don't have the pedals, I don't have the trim switch, I don't have everything, so I am flying like a pig. Okay, so in real life it's much more better, because pilot flying is really considering to fly the airplane, focusing to fly the airplane, and pilot monitoring it's doing the rest, but here we have to help ourselves, so we need to do it we need to do it ourselves. Okay, so I'm not longer waiting for stabilize the engines. We are currently keep flying, so not the engine stable, but put it right on the takeoff thrust setting, and as we have V1, we have rotate, so we will rotate positive rate. It's a little bit bumpy, so it will be hard for me it will be really hard for me to keep the airplane on the flight path, so it will be pretty challenge for me. It's somehow really looks like it's simple. For those of you flying on flight simulators, it should be quite a tricky situation, because because you are alone and you have to communicate and fly manually, so I will completely understand you. Okay, so now I will disengage the sorry, I will put the flaps to up position, and we can press engine anti-ice. We can press standard, that's okay. Flaps up, no lights, that's okay. We can put it into the VNAV mode, and for example we can perform to BAL2 and from BAL2 to NORCU position. So I will do it like this way. Now I will show you when you are fully aware that the IL and the IRSs are not aligned. And be aware of the one fact: if IRSs are not, if you have one IRS failure, you don't have the autopilots, neither autopilot A or B, it's not working. Flight directors are not working. That means that you have to reconsider to fly them manually and fly, for example, as we are flying to Amsterdam. So reconsider your flying because you will fly at flight level 280. You are not allowed to enter the RVSM airspace, okay? So that's the one point, and another point is that's why you are two on board, because one is only flying the airplane and another is communicating and doing everything for you, set up the FMC, prepare the MCP and navigation settings and everything, communicate with ATC, what we shall do, what we shouldn't do, and so on and so on. So there are plenty of things which we have to consider. And how the IRS when you have problem looks like. Okay, so we have IRS left fail, so like this one, execute, and now you can see that okay, so I will put it basically into the not level flight, but we are constantly climbing, okay, and you can see master caution IRS. And if you are fully aware that you cannot solve the situation, you press like on the right side, because right is working, and you have the basic flight instruments right over here, okay. So basically that's the situation, okay. And as I am explaining, I am not focusing on flying, so sorry for that. This is the scenario in which we are using the transfer switches. That's why when you are performing the pre-flight procedure, you always check your navigation, transfer and display switches are on normal and auto position. This is the part of the checklist, and you have also check it, and as well you can see it right over here, okay. And now we are trying, or let's say I will try to, let's say I will put higher level because I don't know, or I will perform this flight, so I'll put 360 right over here, and now we will try to solve the situation if we think that it's reasonable for us and we can make it, okay. So put the switch back to normal position. That's why you can see the blank displays, because IRS is depicted attitude mode as well as the map mode, okay. No matter you have the GPS, okay. And now we clear the malfunction, otherwise we are not successful. In this case, we'll let stable the airplane, for example, no matter what altitude, it just tell to the ATC, and we press the attitude mode, okay? And we will start the timing approximately within, for example, 30 seconds. You have to align the IRSs, okay? And what is important, to put the present position page in order to put the heading when the IRS is let's say align in attitude mode, okay? So 30 seconds, and we will be very precise. You cannot deviate from the altitude, okay? Okay, 30 seconds was passed, but we have no successful. We have no success to keep the altitude. Okay, now we have attitude mode, and you can see the heading. So heading 298 we put there. Put it like this, and now we have map mode and we have flight directors. So we can switch to the heading select mode, and we can put ask for ATC for the next clearance. But what we can do, we have flight level, for example, 185. So we will put flight level 200, for example, like in this situation. 200, and that's okay. And we can make it like autopilot engaged and vertical speed, and we'll adjust the vertical speed, and now we are good to go. And now we can ask the ATC for the let's say for another instructions in order to fly to Amsterdam. So this was the two situations, how to solve or let's say what to do when you are in flight. And if we were no success, because it's in QRH is depicted that it's 30 seconds, but you must be very precise, not in your roll mode, but I guess it's a pitch mode, okay? So but in a real airplane we have trimmer switch, and you can do it, and you can really focus it without any further problems. So right now you know few things and few facts. The first thing is that you may not be successful. You may wait for 2 minutes, and you'll be very precise, but not successful. That means via these transfer switches put it on the workable side, okay? And if you are fully aware of the multifunction failure, or let's say you are fully aware that it won't works, that means that you just transfer into the work site, but you have to consider flying manually, and if you are flying manually you are not allowed to enter the RVSM airspace. That's so that means for you that you have to stay below flight level 290. I hope you like this video much, and see you next time soon. Bye bye.